Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Paterson. Welcome back to a new video. Today, I'm going to be telling you and showing you the worst mistake you could ever make in logo design, plus 3 other little tips that will help you tremendously. These tips have helped me so much over the years. This video is brought to you by Squarespace. And just before we get right into the video, I just want to encourage you guys to press that big fat red subscribe button down below. That just lets you know whenever I upload a new video to the channel. And if you like design, then just press it. So what is the number one mistake? Well, this is a big controversial topic around logo design. So let's talk about what a logo is and what it isn't. A logo is a mark. A logo isn't just an icon or something that is on something. It's not an art piece, but it can be. A logo can be a face. A logo can be quite literally anything that identifies something. Logo is short for logo type in the old way of saying it, and logo type was just a word mark that we call them now. But over the years, logo design has evolved in the graphic design space, and it's evolved into being very competitive, and that's why you see a lot of logo designers doing very well with income and doing very well in themselves and in the artistic direction, because it is so competitive, yet it is so narrow, the field. When I'm looking at my old logo designs and I'm critiquing them, or when I'm critiquing yours, or seeing another company critique a logo or design a logo, I always check for one thing, and this thing is the biggest thing that anyone, not even if you're a designer, even if you're just anyone who buys something from a shop, you will know what it is, and that is appropriateness. Is your logo appropriate? By appropriate, I mean, does your logo have Comic Sans written out in the logo type for your solicitor? Do you have a big rainbow for a plumber? Is your children's nursery logo made with Trojan or Times New Roman? These are all examples of inappropriate logos. So the number one mistake I see are logos that do not use appropriate design forms. So such as Comic Sans for a solicitor, or Times New Roman for a children's nursery, or a rainbow for a plumber. As designers, we go, yeah, of course, yeah, okay, that makes total sense. Is that the biggest mistake though for logo design? And yes, it still is. And the reason why we don't like some logos is because of this. We need to make a distinction out of what is appropriate. So although that is number one, and that is the biggest sort of issue when it comes to creating a logo, the one thing that you do not want to get wrong, there's 3 other things that I'm gonna help you in this video that a lot of the logo design community are even talking about now. So number 1, is it appropriate? Number 2, is it simple? Now define simple. Let's define simple. So the definition of simple is easily understood or done, presenting no difficulty. Now, a logo, making it simple, making that visually simple, how do you do that? Well, it takes skill and it takes time. It's not about adding more to the logo, it's actually about taking things away. Something that I see quite a lot, and I think other designers can see it a lot as well, when you have someone who's starting out in graphic design, any form of design, especially when it comes to logo design, they tend to add more to their logo because they're trying to get their logo to say something more than what it should do. A logo doesn't have to speak about everything in the business that you're designing it for. The logo doesn't have to say anything. It can be a concept. So you'll sometimes get a lot of designers either creating logos that are way too complicated, or even, I don't know if it's even possible, but even too simple sometimes. Simplicity is a very hard thing to grasp when it comes to logo designs. You have to have a balance of it. You can't simply just have a yellow dot for every logo in different colors for a company brand or a family brand. A good way to test the simplicity of a logo is by getting someone who's just seen it for 10 seconds to draw it out again in 10 seconds. If they can draw it in less than 10 seconds on a scrap piece of paper and someone else can identify it, you have won the simplicity game. Okay, so we've had the first one, which is it appropriate, which is the biggest one. The second one, is it simple? The third question you have to ask yourself, especially when it comes to logo type design or word mark or typography, is it legible? Now I say this one with a little asterisk on it because sometimes logos aren't meant to be legibly read. Sometimes they're just a mark. But Having a logo type design makes it a lot easier for a new company to be branded very easily and for a name to stick. Now, obviously, a logo isn't a brand, and everyone needs to know this, because if you think a logo is your entire brand, then you're going to miss the whole concept of marketing and everything else that goes into creating a brand. A brand is that feeling that you get when you look at a company, and it takes years to create that, but the logo in its appropriate form can help build that. For instance, Apple. I always talk about Apple. Apple has an appropriate logo. It just has an icon. Although it doesn't have the word Apple on it, it doesn't need to, because the icon says Apple just by the identity of it. And obviously it's not a word, so it doesn't have to be legible, but what Apple did do when they did design that Apple logo is they created the apple to have a bite out of it. Now, it's very strange. A lot of people probably don't know why they did this, but they did it because they didn't want people to mistake it for another fruit like an orange or a tomato. Is that a fruit or vegetable? So legibility actually scales not just to typography, but it scales to icon design, such as the Apple logo. How did they make it more legible? Well, they made it easier for someone to identify. If you're working on a logo type design, and I would always suggest that people start with logo type designs before they move it into an icon, as an icon is harder to brand for most companies, especially new companies. But if you are working on one, it's a good idea to always make sure it's legible but works as a shape. Legibility is sometimes king, but when it's not, it has to be very intentional and it has to actually serve a purpose. Okay, so the last one, scalability. Now, I don't mean by the program that you're using it in. If you're using Vector, that's okay. You can use Illustrator, Vectornator, any vector program. Of course, it's going to be digitally scalable. That's just normal. What I'm asking and what the question is this logo scalable, not just through the design, but over time? When you create a logo, you should be going in with the mindset that this logo will never have to change unless society changes, unless something massive happens, like another technological revolution. Scalability isn't just about getting that logo massively on a billboard somewhere. It's all about whether that company works with the logo. Does it scale well? But on the size idea of scalability, like making it larger or smaller, it's very important nowadays to make our logos simple enough, legible enough, appropriate enough, and scalable enough because of the sizes of our screen. I've got an Apple Watch here and it's got tons of logos and icons. These have to be scalable, otherwise most people probably wouldn't even see it well. If there's a badly designed icon inside of this Apple Watch, chances are I wouldn't use it. And there's quite a few badly designed ones in there that I still don't know what they're for. Now, scalability is all about that, taking an idea, a concept, and making it small. Can you do that? Or making it big? So whenever you're designing a logo for your client or for that new portfolio project, always ask yourself this question: is it scalable? Does it go small? Does it go big? Can people read it? And scalability, will it roll with the business with their goals in the next few years? This video is brought to you by Squarespace. So chances are you're a designer or someone who's looking to learn about graphic design. Well, today's sponsor is Squarespace, and they are unreal for providing an amazing, beautiful website for you. Whether you're a designer, someone who wants to write a blog, or sell a resource online like I do, or even get commissioned for projects through your portfolio, no matter what you want to use Squarespace for, it's an amazing resource for you to have a website that is beautifully made with thousands of templates for every certain type of job that you're trying to do, whether it's a blog, shop, portfolio, gallery, whatever you can name it, it's on there. I've used Squarespace for like probably 4 or 5 years now, even longer than that, I believe. And it's an amazing way for me to have a website without breaking the bank, but also I'm not a web design genius. I'm a graphic designer, so I don't really know how to code websites. So having Squarespace makes it super easy for me to have this fully customizable website without knowing a single line of code. If you would like to try Squarespace out for 30 days and then get a 10% off your first purchase with them, which I would highly recommend you do, please click the link down below in the description or copy and paste the promo code that is there as well. And little trick for anyone who wants to start this, you can even make your website first, then buy it. So you don't have to pay to actually make it. Just sign up, click the link down below and make your website. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you. It was more of a sit down one. I hope everyone is staying safe and well, washing your hands, keeping clean and all of this sort of stuff. I hope to see you in the next video. I'm really looking forward to it. See you soon. Goodbye.